What if being ambitious is the very thing that's making you feel lost? This week, I sit down with Joey Labossiere, a hypnotherapist who had everything he thought he wanted, lost it all, and then gained it all back with fulfillment and gratitude. Joey discovered that life isn't about settling for what other people tell you want, but discovering what it is that truly lights you up and makes you feel whole. Today, we unpack the endless trap of self-improvement, how to let go of resistance, and why your purpose is probably hiding in quiet moments. If you've ever felt like you're pushing away the very thing that you want by trying too hard, this episode is for you. Before we get into the episode, I just have one ask of you, which is that you consider donating to the show. Any amount is so appreciated. I'm just trying to get as much capital as I possibly can to fund a venture that can fully fund this podcast in all the ways that I want it to be funded, like bringing all of our guests in person, creating more connection for you guys to feel, getting more guests of higher caliber on, and creating higher quality conversations. So without further ado, let's get into this conversation with Joey Labossiere. Welcome to the Grateful Podcast.
Thank you, brother. It's a pleasure. And I'm glad we got to make this. We made it happen.
I know. I'm so grateful. And what's so ironic is right before we jumped on this call, I was telling you I just did a 14-minute one of your meditations, mini gratitude meditation, and I'm feeling extra grateful before this conversation. So I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, I love that because it's one of the teachings and one of the parts of my life that has changed everything is that right there is gratitude. And I think it gets thrown around a lot. And the words, are you grateful? A lot of people will say yes, but I think it takes true attention and intention to really tap into that on a regular basis. But if you do, game changer, as you know.
100%. And one of the things I found the most interesting about the meditation is at the end, you were talking about inviting more into your life. And one of the reasons that I started this podcast is to combat the idea that gratitude equals complacency. That if you're grateful for what you have, then you don't want any more, you're settling. And with this meditation, we're grateful for what we have, but we're inviting more abundance into our lives. And I really, really appreciate that point of view. How did you come across that?
Well, there are many teachings that I've come across, but this all kind of started for me during my rock bottom when I was about 30, or in about 2015 or so. Like I said, the word, are you grateful? The words, are you grateful? Yeah, everybody's like, yeah, of course. But to truly tap into gratitude takes attention. It takes focus. And I believe one of the books that really changed the game for me was The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. I reference this book all the time. Rhonda Byrne's the woman who was behind the book The Secret and the documentary The Secret. I don't know if you remember this. I think it was released in like 2008 or 9, but it took the world by storm. It kind of brought manifestation to mainstream. And The Secret was the popular book. But she had a series of books, The Hero, The Secret, and the one that I still talk about almost every day when I talk to people is The Magic. And The Magic is all about the magic of gratitude. When you have a grateful energy frequency, when your heart is open and you are grateful for what you have, the universe, God has no choice but to give more of that. What you give, you receive. What you put out comes back. And I started to play with this because the book was a 28-day practice. And it made me realize, like, holy geez, I can cultivate this. I can build this up. And so every morning I would write my 10 things of what I'm grateful for and why. And my life literally shifted within a week of going from super depressed, dark thoughts, very much victim energy to like popping out the other side. And so till this day, it's something I try to lead with every night before I go to bed, before my head hits the pillow. And it's how I start my day every morning. So it changes everything.
So walk me through what it looked like what your life looked like when this happened for you. It's your rock bottom and you find gratitude and it makes that shift. Like what was your experience like here?
Yeah. So at the time, I was a federal correctional officer. So I worked in the federal penitentiary system in Canada, and I worked at one of the most violent prisons in the nation. And I was married, two healthy kids. I had a 10-acre hobby farm. I was making over six figures. I had the life that you would say is kind of like what you dream of. And it's comfortable. It's a decent wage. I have benefits. I have a pension. I got a healthy family. I got two vehicles. I got a home gym. I just built a garage. I got a fishing boat. Like I had the life. And it was a rude awakening when I just couldn't find joy. Even though the world, like I had everything the world told me, even my parents told me would make me happy. And there were a few events at work that happened, some violent incidences that kind of shook me to my core. Some really dark stuff. And, that mixed with some of my patterns of escaping and numbing, like alcohol and drugs, and kind of played their role in there too. But I found myself hitting this wall of despair, and then mix that with the guilt of saying, I got everything. Why would I feel so depressed and disconnected and feel so sad? And then you beat yourself up. And, I just got to a point where I was broken, or what I felt was broken. I had no relationship with God at the time. I was very much kind of an atheist. I had no relationship really with myself. But if you were to see me, I was extremely confident looking. But deep down, when I look back and I kind of dissect that time, I hated myself. I had a lot of shame and a lot of guilt from my past and just who I was. And I never felt really, truly me. And that mixed with a near-death experience, a little bit of a car accident that shook me also to my core, kind of just woke me up. And I remember waking up one morning going, I can't live like this anymore. You know, I have all the outside things that makes it look like life is good, but inside I'm screaming. And so I decided, I made a declaration that one morning after the accident, and thank goodness everybody was okay. But it was enough to shake me and to make me realize, like, what I'm doing isn't working. So I have to look at how I'm contributing to my suffering. That was one big thing. I had these moments with God that I can go into one day, but it's pretty deep, and it was just mind blowing. And then I said, okay, I'm going to drop my phone. So I lost my cell phone in that accident, my smartphone, like everybody has now. And I decided to buy a slide text phone on Amazon for $20, no data. And I went 6 months without a smartphone. And all I did in those 6 months is I read everything I could, from Eckhart Tolle to some of the Bhagavad Gita to some of the other spiritual things that were kind of pulling me. But at the end of the day, it brought me to a couple things: meditation, being still, allowing myself to really be in my body, and gratitude. Like, those two things alone shifted things very quickly. And when I started doing the gratitude practice, it was hard because it's like, I got to sit here and write things. I'm like, I'm grateful for my house. I'm grateful for my healthy kids. And I'm grateful for, my loving wife. I'm grateful for my food. And you kind of get those basics down. Day one, day two, more of the kind of the stuff that's really loud and kind of everybody can easily point out. But what the book really pushes you to do is look at the little things, because the rule is you can't put the same thing in more than one time. You can't if you listed your house one time, in those 28 days, you're not listing your house again. So that really forces you to zoom out and go, I'm extremely grateful for the shoes on my feet. And the fact that I got 4 pairs of running shoes and a pair of boots. And I'm so grateful because I have variety, and for different scenarios and different climates. Wow, I'm really grateful for my body, the way it moves and how healthy it is. And wow, I'm so grateful that I get goosebumps right now for the sun on my face when I'm sitting on my deck sipping my coffee. And I'm so grateful for like, wow, I can hear the wind kind of moving through the trees and the birds chirping. And I remember this moment going, holy shit, like there's so much here. Because we're so absorbed in our own lives. We're so absorbed in our own suffering a lot of the times. And we're in this victim energy. We forget that God, the universe, is in everything and it's always happening. And it's all here for us to focus on and look at. And so that book, that exercise, within I want to say 2 weeks, I was popping out of bed, whistling, having the best days, hugging my kids differently, like working out differently, eating my food, savoring every bite. And I was like, what is happening? And it just made me realize like my focus shifted. I went from, oh no, all this, none of this feels good or working, to look at all this beauty. And it's a gratitude practice for a reason. It needs work. It needs focus. It needs attention and consistency for it to build, like your meditation or like your rock climbing, your bouldering. How strong is your grip strength on the first day you go bouldering? How long can you last out there? Right. So same with this, like anything, it takes time to develop. But if it's something you lead with, it can really help you pop out of those really dark times. It has no choice. If you start focusing on the good and you have a grateful heart, good luck slipping in depression when you have a grateful heart. You can't be in both at the same time. Yeah.
That's just so powerful because, as you said, it changed your perspective in 2 weeks. And nowadays, everyone's looking for this quick fix, and they think that anything they're finding while they're scrolling, they're looking for these quick fixes, but they're never actually implementing anything. And they're taking longer to get to their goal because they're stacking life hacks on top of each other instead of finding one thing to commit to.
Yes.
And it only took you 2 weeks of committing to something to shift your perspective. Because when you go from looking for the negative in your life to looking for the positive, it just shifts what you find, because you'll find what you look for. And the one thing I want to dive deep into is how you had everything society told you needed to be joyful, and you didn't feel joyful. And to add on to that, you felt guilty for not getting joy out of what you were told was supposed to bring you joy. How long does it take to be in this situation before you realize, like, wow, it is not all it's cracked up to be?
Yeah, I think that's going to hit everyone a little differently at different times, depending on their journey. I mean, for me, it was, comparison is the thief of joy, the biggest thief of joy in the world. And that can go both ways. You can compare yourself to the richest, most successful entrepreneur and feel less than, or you can compare yourself to, oh, everyone else is suffering way more than me. I should be feeling A, B, or C. I should be joyful. Some people are suffering. They have nothing. And look at me, I'm over here, blah, blah, blah. Either of those are toxic, because you're not really truly being in your experience. But, for me, it was a few different things. Like, it was, okay, these outside things aren't fulfilling me. That means A, I'm not focusing on the right things, but also B, there were some things that weren't really and truly in alignment for what my soul wanted. So like my work, I thought I would have done that career for the 25, 30 years that I signed up for. And within year 8, 7, and 8, my soul was like, this ain't for you. You've learned what you needed to learn and you need to go evolve. So how long does it take? I don't really know how to answer that, because I don't think there's a specific answer for it. But all I know is that you're absolutely right. What you put your attention on grows, and that will always be the case. So it's like you can be happy really quick. And you said 2 weeks. I think it was probably more like 2 to 3 days before I felt the shift into feeling better. Like literally, I remember doing the exercise on day 3 or 4, and I might be off by a day or 2 and going, there's something magical to this shift. And it's not like the outside world changed. Nothing changed. Everything was the exact same, except for my perspective and my focus. So I'm not sure if that answered your question, but I went off.
No, yeah. And what's so amazing is you read a book that talked about the magic of gratitude, and you found the magic of gratitude. So you were looking for it, right?
Yes.
And that's what you found, because that's what it was labeled as. So imagine you read something, instead you focus your attention, you read a 300-page book talking about on nihilism, on the philosophy of nihilism, right? What would you have been looking for after that?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Probably something to confirm those beliefs. So I think that's a really interesting point. And to add on to that, like what you talked about being lost in what you had always dreamed of, it connects back to something I've been thinking about a lot recently, which is the fact that extremely ambitious people seem to tend to feel more stuck. Although people that are ambitious have these dreams and these drives that are supposedly pushing them forward, it often leads to being stuck and finding stagnation. So how can you be ambitious but feel whole at the same time?
Yeah, there's a few things there. Like, a few friends of mine, like I'm in the realm of helping people heal. Like this is what I do for a living. I've been mastering the art of hypnosis and the subconscious mind for quite a few years, thousands and thousands of hours. And there's massive benefits because it saved my life. There's massive value in it. But as a collective and as a whole, we are stuck in this loop. Not everyone, but as a whole, this loop of personal development, this loop of healing, this never ending. Once I do this next ayahuasca journey, once I heal more this, once I do more that, once I get to this, it's this constant later, then I'll be whole, then I'll be okay, then I'll be this, then I'll be happy. And one of the biggest things that I'm realizing for me, because I'm an ambitious person, I have big goals too. And I've been stuck in this loop at times. It's quit making everything a big deal. I know it sounds wild because we have big dreams, but if we would just let go of the fact that it just is. We're going to be ambitious. It's okay to be ambitious, but we are whole now. We get to be the person we want to be now. We get to embody what we want to be now. We get to love the way we want to love now. And so it's just taking stock, taking inventory. Like, am I always searching for more, the next thing? Or can I be here? Can I be fulfilled with where I'm at, knowing that there's always more? There's always more. It's always shifting. Everything's in flux. Everything's swinging. And so it's like, quit making everything a big deal. Whether that's your manifestation that you're trying to create, your dream, if you make it a big deal, you make this big energy with it. It's like, oh my God, it's this big. And you're putting resistance to it right away. It's like a multi-millionaire doing the next $1 million deal. Is the next $1 million deal a big deal to the billionaire? No, it's just $1 million. It's just a number. And for us, if we were to just go, it's just a number. It's just money. It's just business. It's just what I'm here to do. I find there's less resistance to what we're doing. And there's this ability to be more in the moment and less stressed about the next. So I think that's the key. I think it's just letting it just be normal.
How do we do that practically? Like I'll tell you a little story. Like the other day I was just walking home from class and I met Simon Squibb on the street.
I saw that. I was so happy for you, dude.
It was amazing. But I made it a big deal in my head. Like I never really get nervous. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Simon Squibb. Like, right. And I've talked to some like people on here that are like the size of Simon Squibb, if you think about followers and impact. But for some reason in that moment, I just like, I got nervous. I made it a big deal. And I don't think I performed at the way I could have. I made it harder for myself, if that makes sense. And like, how do we go through that? How would you, if you were in my shoes or like walking me through in that situation, how do I create less resistance to the thing that I do have so much drive towards, if that makes sense?
Well, I think there's a few things here because two truths can be, two things can be true at the same time. There's this part of you that's like, holy moly. Like You've been on this journey for a while. You've been doing all these podcasts with these amazing people. You have big dreams. I know this. Well, who's the biggest dream guy on the flipping internet right now? Simon Squibb. So there's this energy of creation happening. The universe is lining up for you. So it doesn't mean don't celebrate. It doesn't mean don't get excited. It just means don't add the extra drama to it, because he's just a human being doing what you're doing. Just maybe a little differently. Maybe he has a bigger reach, but he has a huge heart. He wants to help people achieve their dreams. You're doing the same thing. So there's this beauty of like, wow, what a cool manifestation. Like the odds of you meeting up with Simon Squibb at the same place at the same time on this earth, 8 billion plus people. Are you kidding me? You got to say thank you. You got to say thank you and go, yep, I see. I hear you. I got it. And then just letting it be what it was and trusting that, hey, this narrative of like, oh, I wish I would have responded better or been more poised. And dude, you met one of the guys that is doing big, massive things on the planet. So be kind to yourself and then just know like, oh yeah, more of this is coming. Normalize that. Normalize like, oh yeah, meetings with Simon Squibb and that caliber of creator or that has that kind of reach, that's normal for me. So just normalize it in your nervous system, because that's coming. More of that's coming.
And do you do that by like telling yourself that, almost like a fake it till you make it type conversation with yourself?
I don't love the fake it till you make it, but kind of, yeah. Because if your natural response is this, you have to kind of reparent your nervous system and go, okay, take some breaths, normalize it, go, okay, he's just a human being. But yeah, it is always talking to yourself. You're talking to yourself all the time. So if you go, oh my God, I did this wrong, I did this, blah, 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 you're just putting resistance to more of that coming. Accept it. You know, there's something that my favorite saying that, and this came to me in a moment of shit, I should have done better, and kind of maybe similar. I had a moment the other day, a few weeks ago, where I was showing up for a group and overseas to speak on what I do and lead them into process. I left the call going, I didn't show up like I wanted to. I wish I'd have done better. I wish I was more prepared. I was a little bit scattered. And then in the default was me going into beating myself up a little bit. And then I was able to be aware of that pattern. And I swear I heard the call of God, my higher self, my angels. I don't know when I said, all you need is this. Thank you. I've learned so much. And I was like, thank you. I've learned so much. Whoa, thank you. I've learned so much. And it just becomes this moment of like, oh no, to this moment of gratitude for the data and for the like everything that it's brought me. And so every time now that I find myself not showing up in the way, or oh, I panicked or something didn't go as well, thank you. I've learned so much. It's just data.
So you catch yourself in the moment of, I guess, beating yourself up for not performing the way you want to. And that's when you tell yourself explicitly, thank you, I've learned so much.
Right in that moment, because all you need is consciousness. As soon as you see an unconscious loop, a pattern that is your default, because I mean, you probably learned that when you were 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, throughout your life to respond or react that way. That's an unconscious, oh no, I'm not enough. That's not true.
Right.
That's a loop. And so as soon as you go, oh no, and you can be aware of that response or reaction, you can then respond with a new thought, a new truth to that all. And that's when you start to create the new neural pathway. That's when you do that. That's the pattern interrupt, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that habit of beating myself up, and so many people listening to this are going to resonate of, it's the reason, or one of the reasons, that I find success, because no matter how much I'll succeed, I'll look and I'll hyper analyze it and I'll say, oh, well, I could have been more successful there, right? And that's what a pattern I've found among so many high achievers. I mean, you read Steve Jobs' biography and it's like he had that to an absolute extreme. And yeah, I guess it's hard to let go of something that's got you so far. Um, and I've heard you talk about that in your meditations. Like, how do you go about knowing when something has run its course, when something that's had positive impact and also negative impact? How do you say, okay, now it's time to let you go?
Yeah. Well, I think it usually comes with quite a bit of suffering or quite a bit of resistance. There's comes a point where it's like, oh yeah, you're not doing what you were doing. And, people like Steve Jobs, look, incredible success. Were they happy? Were they fulfilled? Well, how did they feel were they able to really receive the joy that came with their success, or were they always this constant chasing for more? And there's a big difference between not doing enough and feeling like you can always be better. I think it's natural for high achievers or people like, I would say like us who want to create change and want to have massive dreams. Like we always want to do better. I think that's healthy. But if it's always attached to I'm not doing enough, it's a different frequency. I'm not doing enough.
Yeah.
I need to be better. And then one day I will get there. Or like, wow, I'm learning. Wow. I have this amazing desire to be even better. How cool is that? I'm doing enough right now and I'm getting better. Woo. Or it's like, oh no, you idiot, you messed up. You got to work harder. Do you see the difference in that energy and what builds? One is excitement. One is expansion. One is like more. And one is contraction. One is like, way to go. You did it again. Work harder. Be better. You're not enough. So I think it's just that dance of being like really compassionate for where you are, your level of awareness, your level of experience, and that desire to be more, to be better. Beautiful. Without that desire to be better in the world, where would we be?
I'm quickly interrupting just to let you know how grateful I really am that you're here tuning into the Grateful Podcast, that you're a member of this community. It's amazing just how much we've grown in the past year. I'm a freshman in college. I started this 10, 11 months ago, and we have 11,000 downloads. We have over 100 episodes, and I just want to keep that momentum going. So if you could help out with that by sharing this with someone that you think would really get value from it, leaving a review down below, or subscribing wherever you listen or watch, that would just mean the world to me. And send me a DM, a screenshot of you doing that on Instagram so I can personally thank you, because this community means so much to me and it is amazing to watch it keep growing and keep impacting people's lives. All right, let's get back to the episode. So in order to change that mindset, and it goes for anything, not just from the negative self-talk to positive, or however you want to, I guess, label that. That's something that's a subconscious pattern that we then bring to our conscious attention. Is that how we have to identify subconscious? Is it always trying to be actively aware of it and then bringing it to the forefront of our consciousness? Is that the way that we change a subconscious pattern?
I mean, without awareness of it, there's no changing anything. I mean, it's the first step. Some subconscious patterns, wounds, and pain will be deeply rooted and might need some assistance. And like you might need a guide to go a little deeper, because a lot of times when you have these patterns, especially the bigger ones that are around core wounds, they will be protected. Basically, like they're in a safe, locked up, chained up at the bottom of the ocean of your subconscious. And so accessing that is not always easy for ourselves to do. I mean, you can sit in a monastery and meditate for years and probably get there, but there are faster ways to get there. Like a proper guide like myself who is well-versed in hypnosis and navigating the subconscious realm, because there's so much protection around those things. But yeah, when you start to see patterns and loops that aren't serving you, that's the key right there. Just see it and go, oh, wait, okay. And every time you are aware of a pattern that no longer serves, the key is to not beat it up. The key is to not just talk down on it. The key is not to go, oh, I did it again. I did it again. It's because you can't beat yourself into the ground far enough to change the pattern. It's actually pushing, you're resisting. You're just telling that part of you that kept you safe for so long that you're not worthy. Because those patterns, 99.9% of them were created to keep you safe emotionally. And so when you beat it up and you go, no, what are you doing? You're basically telling that part that kept you safe for so many years that they're not worthy and they're not enough. And that's strengthening the shadow around it. So, yeah.
I think that exact thing where we're chasing personal improvement from a place of we're not enough, we need to be better, is one of the biggest problems that is on the internet and in this industry of self-improvement. Like almost everyone, I think, that starts out on a self-improvement journey starts by like reading David Goggins' book or something like that. And
Yeah.
I mean, that guy's amazing. I'm never gonna like say anything against him, but that mindset is one that really is limiting because you're saying like you need to be better, just work harder, all these things that are really not tapping into a place of abundance, the things that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Explain to me the difference between those two, I guess, ideas and ways of chasing success.
Well, I mean, if it's all just conscious grind, go work harder, do this, do that, there's always a price. There's like, what is paying the price? Like, do you need to do a 300-mile run and beat your body into the ground and have 17 stress fractures? And you can, if that's your thing. I'm not downplaying what he's doing, but it's more the underlying, in my opinion, safety that needs to be resolved. There's a deeper knowing that we're already worthy. It has nothing to do with the 200-mile run that you're going to do. You can consciously do all the things. And that's what a lot of people do in their work. They bury themselves into their career and everything else and takes a hit. It's like, what's family life like? What's your self-care like? We can consciously do the things. That's a very masculine energy. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that sometimes we need that, especially as men, we need that discipline. But it's like, are we listening to our souls? Like, are we listening to what the purpose is here? Are we listening to what we actually need? Body, mind, soul, family. So for me, it's always alignment and inner alignment before action. It's trusting and listening to my intuition, which is more of that feminine aspect of because we all both have masculine and feminine, but it's getting into that realm before I just take all this action. So it's a balance. It's finding that inner world, tuning into that inner world, finding out how you tune into that inner world, because that's different for everybody, and asking yourself, is this really aligned with what I want to do? Is this really something that's lighting me up inside? Or is this someone else's success I'm chasing? Is this someone else's version of success that I'm grinding towards? Because that's sometimes scary to look at, taking a breath and going, okay, am I actually working towards something that I truly want?
Yeah. And the thing with that way of chasing success, that grind, is it really perpetuates the idea that we need to accomplish something in order to feel a certain way, right?
Yeah.
Like, whereas with your way, you say, well, I still do want to accomplish things, right? But right now I am enough as I am, and I want more abundance in my life.
Yeah. And there's a lot of abundance in my life right now. And the more we focus on and abundance isn't just financial, right? It's like, it's the abundance of the sunshine that I get in this area of the world. It's the abundance of love that I feel in my life. It's the abundance of amazing, people that follow my content and engage with it. It's the abundance of laughter I have with my friends. There's so much. But yeah, it's, if you continue to chase and chase and chase, which we will always want to do more, we're basically saying that over there, life is really good, and life itself isn't good enough, because life itself is always now. We don't even know what tomorrow brings. We don't know if a lightning strike hits us. We have no clue, but we're putting all the power into, once we get there, once we get better, once we get more healed, once we get more money, once we get more successful. And then we miss everything that's right in front of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And it also, like, we block off so many different pathways of our lives by thinking about once we do something, we'll get this. I mean, I heard you talk about this in a video where if you're going to manifest your, I guess, what do you call it? Optimal reality,
Yeah.
idealized reality.
Yeah.
Um, if you're going to manifest that and you're very specific, you just have to remember that it's always going to keep getting better. And you have to be conscious about doing that. I mean, I think about it all the time because uh, being an 18-year-old freshman in college, there's a lot of pressure on having direction in your life
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
knowing what you want to do, right?
Yeah. It's just
When you,
nuts to me.
and so if I'm thinking about, all right, I want my life to be this in 10 years, like how many doors am I cutting off by thinking about this linear path to a certain thing,
What a
right?
great question. What a great question. Like
Yeah.
when the finite tells the infinite what's possible. It's like we're literally saying this can it's only here, here, and here. So yeah, I love what you said because I teach a lot of visualization. And I think it's extremely important when it comes to creating the life we want and the dreams we want. We need to see it first. We need to believe it within ourselves first. We need to feel it first before it really, materializes in the physical. But again, like you said, if we only see this, this, and this, how much are we blocking off from the infinite, creating even more? And so one of my favorite things about visualizing is like, okay, visualize the thing you want. And I don't care if it's material. There's nothing wrong with that. It could be the big house on the ocean. It could be the dream job speaking around the world, working with, high-end athletes, whatever makes you feel really excited. And then in that visualization, see yourself being in awe of the world, of the universe giving you even more. And fall in love with the wonder of like, wow, how things just fall into my lap and things just seem to work out for me. And when I think it's good, it gets even better. And because it gets even better, I'm even better for the people that I touch. I'm even better for the people that I work with. And I'm even better for the people that watch my content. So it's that overabundance and overflow of the infinite giving you more, and then also it overflowing into everybody else's cup that you come into contact with.
Love that. When I visualize, and I think this is similar, I'm interested. I've actually been thinking about this for a long time and been waiting to ask you this or talk to you about it.
Yeah.
But I think that the way to combat this idea of blocking out different areas is not to visualize what your life will look like from the outside, but visualize what it'll feel like on the inside. So I don't know exactly what job will be the thing that ends up lighting me up. And there'll probably be many. And I don't know the exact people that will light me up. I mean, I think I do, but I'm not sure, right? But I do know that the way that I'm going to feel, the way that I want to feel, it is just pure joy and peace and a sense of fulfillment and purpose. So that is what we can visualize. That is what we can try to manifest into reality.
100%. I couldn't have said it better. And remember this. Bring in as many people as you can into that visualization, even if you don't see their faces and know who they are. Just see that your joy and your abundance does nothing but elevate everybody else and welcome them into that abundance, because that's the sweet spot. You can receive all the wonder, and because it just overflows, and then it just touches everybody else. And so what does that feel like to be of service like that? What does it feel like to do what you love to do? To be so lit up with the team that you're working with? And then what does it feel like to know that those people are benefiting from your abundance? They're feeling that energy. They're riding that wave as well. And because of that, they're creating their own wave. And they're like, it's the ripples, right?
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
So what does it look like what is the effect of this? I know there's so much talk about manifestation and this visualization, but when we visualize ourselves having this feeling about the ripple effect that we're going to make and the joy that we're going to feel in the future, what does that do for our reality right now?
It gets you into a frequency of that. So the more you can feel it, and it doesn't mean take yourself out of the moment. This is why I really love intentional time of visualizing, because you don't want to be la visualizing all day and not being present with what you're doing. You need to be in the life and enjoying and responding to life as it comes. But when you give yourself intentional visualization time, which is around, for me, it's after my meditation and it's visualizing because I'm in a deeper state. That allows you to, are you familiar with the book, Reality Transurfing?
I'm not. No, I've heard of the title.
All right. So something to look into for anybody. But he basically, I can't remember the author's name. I think he's a Russian quantum physicist, if I'm not mistaken, wrote this book. And it's amazing. And it really just explains that all realities are now. Everything is happening now. Every single reality of you being the most successful, this is already happening right now. It is just simply about getting into the frequency of that, basically timeline shifting or quantum leaping. And so when you can allow yourself to find that dedicated time to tune into the confidence of that version of you, how that person walks, how that person feels, how that person sees, how that person serves, how that person gives, you vibrate at a higher frequency. You just start feeling better. It's like the gratitude's the same type of thing. You're just raising your vibration. And you're literally, in my opinion, changing realities in the moment. And the more you can hold that frequency, the more the physical is going to start to line up with that visualization and that energy that you feel, that feeling.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. I remember the first time I heard about that, Joe Dispenza talking, and I was just like, man, I can't believe this is real. Like this is insane. And the stories I hear about stuff like this. And so if someone is just hearing about this or they've heard about this and they want to make an impact in their lives, they want to start something, what habits should they start? Should they journal about it? Should they just talk to themselves? I know sometimes I'll just talk to myself. Should they think about it? What's the most effective habit? Or I guess how could someone start off?
I know it's overwhelming at first and it's like, where do I start? I say simplify it. Learn to meditate. Because if you can't quiet the monkey mind, if you can't quiet your mind from just going, or your awareness going wherever it goes, and you can't control that and harness that, you're going to be in a little bit of an uphill battle. But as soon as you learn to realize that you are not your thoughts, you're actually the awareness of your thoughts. And when you can calm the mind and be in the body and be super still, that, in my opinion, is the doorway to the super conscious. So it's through this, if the conscious mind, the unconscious mind or subconscious mind, and then the super conscious. So when you can quiet that down, this is where a lot of people get their downloads. This is where a lot of people get that inspiration. This is where a lot of people feel like, oh, wait, where did that come from? That doesn't come from a mind trying to think your way into something. That comes from a quiet mind that is receiving from the soul, from the higher self. So I'll say, learn to meditate. I have super simple ones. Like you just did a 15-minute gratitude one. I think it was probably on my YouTube. So your YouTube, simple 5-10 minute meditations at first. Learn what it feels like. Learn what your body does. Get better at that. Do some gratitude. Do a gratitude practice every single day too, because right there, you're going to tune into your heart opening. And when the heart opens, that's the signal. So you're going to start manifesting right away because you're already manifesting every day anyway. But most of us are manifesting from our default. So if we had a life full of abundance and mom and dad taught us all this beautiful stuff, chances are they're manifesting, their default is pretty good. But most of us come from a place of lack, come from a place of limiting beliefs and thoughts, come from schooling systems or society that has told us one thing or this thing, and we get stuck and we're manifesting from the default in our subconscious mind. It's 95 to 98% of our world is created by what we can't see. And so meditation allows us to kind of settle the mind, feel into the body, and become more aware of what we do want. And that's another thing. Most people don't know what they want. And it's okay if you're a young person exploring. Maybe it's just writing down your goals of I want more clarity of what lights me up. I want to move towards what makes me feel really good. I want to know what allows me to use my gifts that God gave me in the best way possible. Because that's what I'll tell you and your viewers right now. Most of us are chasing things out here and we're ignoring the natural abilities that we were given. Your communication skills, your ability to say yes to adventure. I mean, there's 1,000 things, but we often downplay the gifts we have because they come easy to us.
Mm.
Everybody
And we're
else
told
sees
to
it.
work our weaknesses.
Right. Think about that. You're not enough. Go work on this, this, and this. Then come back. It's like we're ignoring 3, 4, 5 little things that literally make a difference when we use them or embody those with others. Like for me, it's my ability to hold space and communicate and have deep talks. It's my passion for people succeeding. These are the things that I had to double down on. And then as soon as I said yes to that, the universe is like, oh, now you're listening. Here's some more. Oh, now you're listening. Here's some more. So the things that light you up, the things you're passionate about, the things you love to do with others, those aren't just random. Like, that's the way. Like, your gifts, your uniqueness, your quirks, your sense of humor is the way. So I think that's the perfect way to talk about that is like, yeah, trust what you're good at and follow it. Doesn't mean you're going to know exactly how you're going to use that to serve, but follow it.
Yeah, I love that so much because like it's so common to like go into something that we're not good at because we want to be very even, right? We want to be good at everything and we want to work on our weaknesses. I mean, in sports, I think that's one of the places, like sports and school, where we really learn that mentality.
Yeah.
It's like I remember in soccer, I was really really good with my right foot. I was always told just like work your left foot, work your left foot, work your left foot, and I mean that's important. But I I think what if I just worked my right foot and had like the best shot on my right foot?
Right.
It's the Bruce Lee. Like
Right.
I fear not a man who's done 10,000 kicks one time, but the man who's done one kick 10,000 times, right?
Yeah.
Because when we're so practiced in that one thing, we're unstoppable. That's a hard thing to really hone in on. I mean, I'm feeling it now. Like I'm doing so many things, right? But if we put our energy into things we're really good at, I think that's where we can excel.
Yeah. And for you too, like anybody in around your age, you're in that explorative, like exploring stage of life. And I will say you're going to be in that for a while. Doesn't mean you won't find exactly what lights you up. But let this be that. Let yourself be curious. Let yourself find those things that, ooh, that was awesome. Sick. I'm going to move towards that a little bit more. No, okay. Well, maybe because every time you follow the passion, every time you follow what lights you up to its fullest extent without worrying about the stuff that society is going to tell you about, the more you see 3, 4 different doors open that you never thought possible.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a sweet spot. It's like, that felt really good. And I'm not talking dopamine because we can get stuck in that, but really expansive to the heart. You know the things. It's like when you started bouldering, you started climbing. What did that make you feel? You're like, oh, something here. And you did more of it and more of it. And now you traveled the world, you're traveling doing that. Those things, podcasting, you followed that passion and it'll always open doors. It'll open you to meeting Simon Squibb. Like, these are the things you can't see that are going to happen that the universe has in store for you when you follow your passion to its fullest extent.
So amazing. Something I've run into, not really personally, but I know people that will have something that they really, really love, that they're really enjoying, and be like, and very much doubt it and say like, oh, well, it's great now, but it's like, it's too good to be true. It'll probably get taken away. Like, it's just temporary and this won't last. Like, how do we be? I think that comes from a fear. You can confirm that, you can deny that, but it comes from this fear of having what we desire. Why do we have this fear, and how can we get over it and accept what we deserve?
a lot of that is just programmed into us. Like mom and dad probably had the same type of reaction to having something good. Like, when's the next shoe going to drop? Or, oh, I can't, it's only going to last for so long. And so when you do that, you're literally taking the beauty and the magic of now. That's the gift that you're given. And you're going, oh, it's okay for now, but it's going to do this, this, and this, or it's going to be temporary. They're absolutely right, because they're believing that and they're saying it over and over and over again. But I guarantee you can find someone in the same situation that has a belief of going, no, I'm going to ride this till I can't anymore. I'm going to love this. I'm going to do this for my life. I'm going to find a way to do this and help others. And I promise you, those people will do exactly that. So it comes down to shifting in perspective. It's whether you look at it as a positive mindset or negative or growth mindset versus not. It usually comes from mom and dad, your family dynamic, your schooling system, society as a whole, because there's a collective unconscious too when it comes to this stuff. It's allowing yourself to go to see your limiting thought process around it and going, oh, I have a limiting understanding. I have a paradigm that I'm running around my dreams or this thing that it's only A, B, and C. And then you go and rewire that. You start to say, okay, what does it look like for me to believe in this a little bit more? What does it look like for me to think or to start shifting to the possibility of this being even greater, even more? Because you can't really, unless I take you into hypnosis, I can find out where it came from. I can find it every single time. But for the most part, most people won't really know, other than like, it's societal conditioning. It's your parents. It's those first 7 years of life when it comes to your beliefs around these certain things, whether it's your sport, your abilities, money, abundance, scarcity, you name it. Yeah.
So let's say someone gets something that they really love and they want to hold on to it.
Yeah.
But they start hearing these beliefs. They start hearing these negative things like this is only temporary. They don't want to believe them. They want them gone. But they're really struggling. They're in this part of their conscious they can't really access. How can they shift to really ignoring those in a positive way, if ignoring them's even the right answer, and like accepting the abundance that you're talking about?
Well, a couple things right away when I hear that. It's like you want to hold on to something. As soon as you want to hold on to something and you do this, that's going to create massive suffering.
That's
like
the
that's just like,
attachment part.
oh, attachment. Oh no, when it goes, then what? It's like let everything land in your hand like a little bird. If it's the beauty of the 911 turbo that you got from your business, let that little bird land in your hand. Enjoy it. Let it be there. Drive it. Look at it. Be in awe of it. But if that little bird wants to fly away, let it fly away, because everything is temporary. It's like, you don't want to, because what do you do when the bird's in your hand? You hold on to it. You're going to squish it. You're going to kill it. And you're just, let things come in, let things go. So if you're attached to something, I feel like right away, like you're going to have this weird dynamic with that thing. And chances are that thing's going to be taken from you. I think there's this beauty of just letting it be. But when you talk about thoughts, there's 3 things that I like to do when I have negative thoughts around something come in. And this could be about anything. It could be about my career. It could be about the thing that I'm manifesting. It could be about my relationship. If there's a negative loop that comes in, I ask it, does it need the heart, the belly, or the axe? And the heart means, does this old loop of thought need compassion? Is it an inner child part of me that feels scared? Is it like, oh, I'm not enough, or I'm not worthy, or they're going to leave. Once I say yes to this relationship, they're going to leave me anyway. Noticing that thought and kind of reparenting yourself and going, hey, dude, I know you feel unsafe. I know you feel uncertain, but we got this. I love you, because your consciousness is speaking to your unconscious at that point, your little wounded self. And you can kind of reparent yourself with compassion and love. And then sometimes thoughts just need laughter, which is the belly, because of how ridiculous some of these loops can be. You ever have a thought come in and you're like, what the heck was that? Like,
Yes.
Where does that even come from? It makes no sense to the situation I'm in. This is an old loop. And so you laugh at yourself. Laughter is medicine in many, many ways. And this is a good way to put it. Laugh at the silliness of your ego. Laugh at the silliness, right? Laugh at it, because it's like, as soon as you laugh at something, what happens? The charge dissolves. it doesn't have legs. It doesn't have roots anymore. It just kind of dissolves. And I laugh at myself sometimes. And then sometimes I need the axe and I get a little bit more aggressive. And sometimes some of the thoughts that come in are really nasty and they're hard on myself. I'm hard on me. And I'll say, all right, I'm going to chop the head off of you right now because you're not sitting at my table. You're not coming into my experience today. I acknowledge you want to come in and then chop. That's where I take the axe. And I don't allow that thought to continue. That's where I shift. I do gratitude. I do some breath work. I change the energy. It's not avoiding that thought. It's acknowledging it and deciding that I'm not fueling it. I'm not feeding it anymore.
So you deliberately switch your attention to something
100%
positive.
Yep. Because
okay.
Sometimes they're nasty thoughts and they want to be dark and they want to take me into this loop, into the depths of darkness. And I'm like, no, all I need is consciousness. All I need is my awareness. I'm one with infinite source and alignment right now. As long as I'm aware, I can choose to go into the unconscious loop and get into the story and the drama, or I can decide, no, you don't sit at my table today. I move on. I go for a walk. I go into nature. I choose to change my thoughts of no, I know I'm worthy. I might be having a little tough day today and this thought wants to take me out. I'm not playing that game. So I
think this is really important. It's like when we have a thought that comes in, it's often, I think people struggle to get away from negative thoughts, but it's not like try to ignore it because everyone knows that doesn't work. It's let's deliberately focus on something that is actually beneficial rather than accidentally focusing on this thought that's taking my energy in a negative way.
Yeah, it's kind of like the difference between avoiding and ignoring. Like avoidance is kind of like, oh no, can't do that. Got to go do something. But instead it's acknowledging it. All right, I see it. I feel it. I know where it wants to take me. And then choosing to go here. Choosing to go here.
I love that.
Because your mind is wild. Your mind is like this big mansion. I read this book not too long ago, and it explains the mind because people think, oh, my mind takes me here, my mind takes me there, my mind takes me here. Your mind doesn't move. Your awareness in your mind moves. So if you think of your mind as a big mansion with 1 million rooms in it, your awareness is that little guy walking through the mansion going to different rooms. There's a room of gratitude. There's a room of self-destruction. There's a room of victim thoughts. There's a room of you choose. So as soon as you're aware of your thoughts, you get to change rooms. You get to go into any room you want. You get to go into gratitude if you choose to. You get to go into positive mindset. You get to choose you get to choose where your awareness goes within the mansion. Does that make sense?
That's awesome. Yeah. And it's like that little guy, he can't be in 2 rooms at once. If you want to leave a room, you go to another room and you choose which room you're going to.
Yep. And the faster you can catch yourself knowing you're in that room, the faster you can get out, the better you can get out. And then you get really good at this. That's why the meditation, in my opinion, is so important. That's why the mindfulness is so important. The breath work is so important, is learning how to be still, learning how to be present so that when those unconscious thoughts come in, you can catch them now. And then you can go into different rooms.
You can speed up your process of being aware of the subconscious, right?
100%.
Yeah.
That's the awakening.
Yeah. Have you ever read Michael A. Singer? Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
He has this book. Yes. Or I don't think that's the one I read. I think he has another one where that is by him, but he has one where he quieted his mind. There was a moment where he was able, he no longer had thoughts in his mind. It's a crazy, crazy thought. And I don't think that I getting to a point where my mind has completely silent. I don't even know if that's the ideal, but every time I finish meditating, I definitely approach that as an asymptote in math. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, ask yourself in the meditations that you have, do you have those moments of you lost time and you're just whoa, there's a thought again?
Yeah.
Well, that's
today. Yeah, today I had one in yours. I was like, holy shit, it's been a while since this has happened.
There you
Yeah.
go. So, and that stillness expands. So I get that every day. I've gotten to the point where I can tune into that quiet, no thought rather quickly. And then a thought will come in and I'll get back into and then, and I'll zoom, I'll come right back into it. That little pocket is so, like, once you experience it, you're like, what was that? Like, who am I without all these thoughts going into my head? Wait, there's more? You're the stillness behind those thoughts. That's actually your awareness. That's who you are. And the thoughts is just
That's
ego.
really cool.
Yeah, the thoughts is just, go ahead.
You're peeling back the layers, but meditation's peeling back the layers to reveal who you are.
Meditation is the way that you can start to tune into what you truly are and what you, like, the deeper pulls, like, of the universe and of your soul, of like why you're here. That's where you go. The heart speaks from stillness. The mind speaks like this, but the soul speaks from the heart. And the heart can only be heard when this is shut down. I don't mean shut down, but it's when it's quiet.
Yeah. What's funny is the first thought after those moments, every time I'm meditating, it's always like, oh my God, you did it. You did it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you just messed it up.
That's so funny because that is, I would say, one of the most amazing parts and frustrating parts is like, oh, I got to that space of nothingness. And then it's like, oh no, it's gone now. Come back. And you're just kind of trying to bring it back. And then that clawing back is actually pushing it further away. And yeah, it's really funny. But that's an awesome place to be when you do have those moments.
100%.
Yeah,
well, Joey, I've really, really enjoyed this conversation. I've learned a lot, and
sweet.
I mean, normally I love that. I love being able to learn on my podcast, but this one, like, I learned way more than I do on a lot of them. Yeah, it's super cool. And like before we end this, I've been really like curating my guests recently to be people that I think make you feel something different after you watch a video. So like a few weeks ago I had on David Lorimer, the guy that says like today I'm grateful for I don't know if you know that guy, but he's awesome. Second time I've had him on, and it's just like when you watch your guys' videos, it's not just information. You actually feel something different. And I think that in this world of saturation of content and all of this information and advice, like we have all the information we need at our fingertips. I love how when I watch one of your videos, I feel better afterward. And I think that's what we need more of.
Well, man, thank you so much for that. And I'll say it's not always easy not to get lost in the social media craziness, being in it and, within that ecosystem. But I think my goal, if I can do that in a positive way, is just to help people normalize like their inner world. And, because we got to come back here because there's so much there. There's 100 studies telling you to eat this way, 100 studies tell you to eat the other way, 100 new hacks coming out from this guy, another course, another this. And it's like, it's so overwhelming right now for people to they just want to feel better. They want to feel their authentic selves. They want to be safe speaking their truth and their voice, and but they don't know how. And it's like, oh yeah, right. It's not a huge bunch of hacks. You just got to quiet your mind a little bit. Give yourself a dedicated time to breathe and be here and to tune into your intuition, because that intuition never steers you wrong. But your intuition doesn't come from here. It's always here. And so if I can make you feel something good, something positive, or give you a little guidance on how to help you do that in an easy way, because I'm trying to normalize the magic of the universe as much as I can, try to make it really grounded and easy to follow. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. And thank you for this, man. Thank you for what you're doing. Keep it up. It's awesome.
Thank you, brother. And for 18 years old, I wouldn't even want to talk about where I was at 18. So I'm proud of you, buddy. Being a young man, doing so many great things and talking to a lot of, really powerful people. And just know that your dreams matter and what you want matters, and just keep moving forward and know that you're enough right now, even though you might not think it all the time. But yeah, proud of you, dude.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Grateful Podcast with Jack Wagoner. I'm just so happy that you made it this far, got value out of this. And do me a favor, take a screenshot of where you're at right now and tag me on Instagram in your story, and I'll repost it and thank you personally, because it really is amazing that you took this time out of your day to cultivate more joy into your life and learn more and improve yourself. And if you think that anyone else in your life could get benefit from this, make sure to send it over to them so that we can keep making more impact on more people's lives. Now, if you enjoyed this, I release episodes every Monday, solo episodes, and then every Wednesday with an amazing guest. And my goal is to keep getting these guests to be even more amazing. Not that the ones we've had aren't, but just even more amazing and make a bigger impact on you guys. So if you want to help me do that, then leaving a review wherever you listened is huge. All right. Hope you guys have a great week. I'll see you on Monday and Wednesday for the next episodes of the Grateful Podcast. Stay grateful.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.